hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as a judge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty. Still here with Colin. You all right, Colin? Still?
I'm still very well. It's getting later and later, though. It's not as late as last night's quick. I say last night. I don't know what night we're on when this goes out, but last night's quick bang after the Celtic game. That was a late one.
It was really 11:30. That was I got McDonald's on the way home, which is why I was a wee bit later than I would have been. And I got home and I had 8 minutes to eat it, and I got fucking horrendous heartburn because I did it in 8 minutes. And can you ever get acid reflux at night? You get that kind of burning in your...
You know, the only thing I get that way, Bailey's orange.
Right.
Orange flavour Bailey's. That's the only thing I've ever had that way. And last Christmas I was drinking quite a lot of it because it was on offer in Tesco. And I realised, I thought, the only time I ever get this is when I have the Bailey's. So I just cut it out.
Aye.
That was my solution.
Well, I get this if I eat too late at night, which is fucking every night with me. But if I eat particularly late at night or have something like that, especially try to eat it in 8 minutes, it's fucking stupid. So about 3 times through the night it happened. I was like, fuck's sake, I didn't have any medicine for it. Normally keeps them in the house.
What did you have?
I had a wee drink of Iron Brew. Just to get the taste of it. I was like, this isn't going to help. But
it was. Did you have McDonald's?
Oh, right. I thought you meant to help.
No. Milk. Do you know milk helps? Because it cancels out the acid.
Milk would have helped, but I would have had to have come down the stairs for it. And I couldn't have been so I just wanted to go back to sleep. I was fucking tired.
But do you know, I would always go and have some milk, even if it's downstairs. So what? It's good. You're not going to then have it in an hour's time again.
No, that's true. That's true. But
short-term pain, long-term gain.
I just wanted to go back to sleep. I had a quarter pounder with cheese meal and a double cheeseburger.
Did you get the shite off it?
So the quarter pounder, take off the pickle and onion and put mayonnaise and lettuce on it. It's a fucking superb burger. I would hardly recommend that.
If you hadn't done that, you would have had more than 8 minutes to eat it because they would have had one ready. And you would
ordered an app ahead. So when you get there, so there was no wait time. I ordered a double cheeseburger as well with a pickle, but I never got a chance to eat that. I didn't have time. I just thought, fuck, I'll forgo it. And you can't reheat them really, can you? I didn't care if that would work in the air fryer.
Fuck knows.
You said reheating chippies in the air fryer, though.
Aye, yeah, can do that.
I did that with a pizza supper, and I tell you, it was fucking... So it was a half a pizza supper that I hadn't eaten. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be able to reheat the fucking thing. It was superb. It was actually better the second day done in the air fryer than it was at night.
We tried it out once because we always got loads of chips left. Like, nobody ever eats... Well, apart from me, eats like all the chips. So we then started going, right, we're not buying, like we'd get
some singles and some suppers.
And there's still chips left over. So I thought, I'm going to not chuck them out this time and just see who they go them on. Good.
Aye.
I've tried that. No, it was just, I've only tried chips. I've not tried any of the others.
The pizza, if you have like a pizza supper, I would hardly recommend that. It was fucking magic the next day. I actually made me want to go and order another one. But obviously that would be greedy as fuck. So
we should definitely start a healthy eating podcast, eh?
Aye, definitely.
Just on this last 5-10 minutes of conversation.
Aye.
Bailey's orange, quarter
McDonald's,
pizza suppers.
We're brutal, like, see where we live, though, like, it's so on our doorstep we've got McDonald's. In fact, they're building a McDonald's at the Tesco's. There's a McDonald's getting built there, but there's one just a couple of minutes away.
That's just to fuck up the car park. That'll just be a fucking Tesco car park. That's what they've done here. It's a fucking nightmare on a Friday afternoon.
That's exactly what they're doing it for.
Single parents, no single parents, but came and they'll got the parents got their dad for the weekend. First like the day after school, staying at McDonald's for their lunch. Go along there to try and get something. You're like, fucking hell, the car park's just at a standstill.
Well, we're in a 5-minute walk for us, right? So that'll be a McDonald's, a Greg's, a Subway, a Chippy, and then a couple of minutes in the car, you've got a Burger King, Pizza Hut, Nando's, another McDonald's. Oh, fucking what else? There's like a Starbucks and everything. It's brutal. Like you just a KFC.
So you're living all right, eh? That's fucking. That's you there.
Ideal location for it.
Aye.
That's how I'm a fat cunt. Anyway, I need to move somewhere where it's no got all that stuff. Right, we'll get
That's what
some.
they're doing along at Tesco along there. They're sticking a drive-through Greg's. Like a fucking
A
drive-through.
drive-through. Well, there's a drive-through. If you go just outside of Dunfermline, there's a drive-through Stevens bakery. We've only used that the once. It's all right. Stevens Bakery is good. Best bakery. Miles better than Greg's. Not as good as Alan's.
I was just going to say something.
Not as good as Alan's. Can I get a Galatasaray pie there? Right, Hibs Class podcast. Oh, actually, you, Michaelis, was the first question. What was there before the Big Bang? I'm going for a small.
Well, something banged. So it'll be like, I don't know, a ball of fire or something that's exploded into.
It's like super condensed mass, wasn't it? Like the blew up and just
created all the other planets and that.
Aye, I think so.
Yeah,
go with that.
It sounds a scientific answer.
Hibs Class podcast. What's the order in which you put on? I've done that one. Espresso said, men's suits, why are they worn like they're a size too small, jacket too tight and trousers too short?
Aye, well, that's what to do with lockdown and that, innit? And bad diets and KFCs and fucking like that.
I think I've got a suit that fits me, and I think I chucked it for that very reason. It's fucking ridiculous. I could have, I suppose, in hindsight, just slimmed it down.
It's easier said than done, though.
Kev,
I've got, I think I don't know if it does still fit, but I got one for, I was best man at mate Alan's wedding. What? Probably 2 years. 2 years ago now, actually, just past 2 years. So I had one for that. That's still in there in the suit carrier. I think I've had it on since. I'm thinking it might not fit based on the last 18 months of irregular diet, etc.
Aye.
A definite increased drinking in the house levels in the last 18 months as well.
It's brutal that taking weight off isn't as easy as putting it on.
Yeah.
That's my observation of life.
And this time of year's hard as well because it's just dark all the time. It's just easy to sit in the house and no go out and exercise.
Aye.
Although when you've got dogs like we have now, then you've got to go out. So.
Yeah, there's no excuse. You have to do it. John Callahan says, why does pubic hair stop growing once it reaches a certain length? It's a good question.
Does it? Does it not? Is it not the case that it falls out and it's sort of replaced?
Is it?
So it.
But surely you would have some that hasn't fallen out. That would give the game away.
Grey ones. They're the big long grey ones, you mean?
Aye.
I don't know. Is that not what it is though? Because they're not just like skin, like how your skin falls and it's replaced itself.
It just replenishes. Maybe. I think.
I don't know how I know that.
I'm not like
I don't know how I know that.
I'm
not. No, neither am I. No, I've got hairy back and everything.
Have you?
It's aye, pubes up my back.
And do they grow, or are they stayed a consistent length for as long as you remember?
I've had them off before, and they just come back. Aye, yeah, but then they fall out and they're replaced, and then so it gives the illusion that they get to a certain length. But I think it's once they get, it's like they almost grow.
Get too heavy. Aye, get too heavy. The worst hairs that I get are the nose hairs. When you get one that's tickling, you have to yank it out.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
Try and keep on top of that. I'll try and keep on top of that now with my wee razor.
Aye, Manscaped do stuff like that. If Manscaped wanted to sponsor us, we've mentioned them before. They have the.
I'll shave my balls if they get stuff for free.
Would you report back on it? It tell us what the experience was like.
I had to shave my balls before, but why not do that? I was going to see something else, so I went off track. I can't remember.
You think it's shaving your balls now, aren't you?
It's about shaving stuff. I can't stop thinking about shaving my balls now.
I had a flatmate I've talked about him a few times that would do stuff like that. He came through one time and he was off. Top off, like obviously, why would he not have his top off when he come in his living room? And he was bright red, like all his torso, like from fucking chest to belly button, and cut to bits as well. And he said he just decided to shave his chest. He was a hairy fucker. and he just shaved it off just with like a bick or something and made a right fucking mess of it. I was like, what the fuck did you do that for? Again, this was back when, men shaving themselves in places that wasn't in their face wasn't really that common. There's guys who shave their armpits and that.
Aye, it's not starting to be. Well, footballers started a lot. Like the Chelsea boys and that, Lampard and all that, they were all shaving their chest and that kind of stuff. Must have made them run faster or something.
Aye.
The cyclist and that would do it.
No need to shave my chest. I think I've got about 3 or 4 hairs on it. Ken, just random ones.
Just wee strands.
That's it. You think, I'll keep them there just to remember I'm a man. Flash Gogsey said, have you ever shat and spewed at the same time? And if so, what's the worst one to come first?
I don't think I have. I've been close to it, like when you've got a sickness bug and that, or if you're really, really drunk as well. But I don't think I've ever done both at the same time.
I have. So I've done it on more than one occasion. One time went into the spew went into the sink, so I could reach the sink enough. The spew into it. That was me kind of demonstrating because obviously I'm sat down, which I would have been at the time doing the. It's just because I was mid shit, I couldn't get up, and it wasn't like a shit that you could have just nicked, because obviously I was hungover. So then that. Didn't spew in your sink, your bathroom sink would be my advice to anybody, especially if you've had kebabs or whatever, because your sink's blocked. There's no way your sink is no getting blocked after that. And then having to clean your own spew when you feel like that out a fucking blocked sink, horrendous. The bath's a better option because it's got a bigger plug. So if you're sat and you can reach the bath, get into there, because also your spew's no like water, it'll know, or generally it's like water, it'll know just to run down the plug hole, so you can it's easier to clean it. That's my advice.
Good tips. Top tips.
Didn't say we're no good to you. Aye. But I could tell the story before about my pals. I went to the darts and then the shit was so bad it made them spew, and then somebody else came into the room and spewed up because of the smell. Alistair Taylor says, if pi is 3.145926 out of 15, what's a Galatasaray pi out of 15? Straight up 15.
15, aye. I was just trying to think how you equate that to 3.14, but I know I'd give it a good 14 and a half.
Aye, the wee mini ones that were on our live event, that was
even cold or like not hot.
Aye.
I don't think they were cold, but they were
like room temperature.
Aye, they were lovely.
Aye, superb. Alistair also asks, Iron Maiden or AC/DC?
Not my cup of tea, either of them. Does one of them do the that song in the Marvel films that is it Thunder? Thunder it's called. You know the song I mean?
I kind of know what you mean.
Does one of them do that, or is that somebody else? It's one of the bands that do a lot of shouting and that.
Maybe Stevie's right into AC/DC. I think if he likes Iron Maiden or so. On account of vouching for Stevie, I would go for AC/DC, but there are no bands that I've paid much attention to over the years.
I'm not really into that. I'm not into that at all. The bands that the sort of shouting thing. Nah, no for me.
Mal Bergen says, what's the worst toy you've ever played with that others think is fantastic? Mine says Tamagotchi. He says,
what was Tamagotchi? Was that was the wee thing?
Electronic. They were. I'm sure they came out when we were at school.
Did they?
Aye, I think so. I'm sure they were about when we were about that age.
Yo-yos came out when we were at school. They were big.
Aye.
You get the Coca-Cola ones and the Fanta ones and all that.
Aye, they were shite as well.
I know.
There's a reason the yo-yos became unpopular as toys got better.
That was all of it, Like they became a thing for a while.
Aye.
It would just be a Coca-Cola thing, because it was all their brands that had.
Aye, because the folk did
big double things and that.
Aye, and folk did the tricks with them and everything.
Yeah. There's one thing. The other one, I know who I'm talking to will be fairly controversial, but like an Xbox or a PlayStation, just boring to me. Just no for.
So, I like that. The Tamagotchi's quite a good example, or Furbies and things. I mean, Furbies were massive for a bit and crap. I try and think of stuff from when we were wee. Kind of like everybody wanted to have one. Yours is a good example.
Ski Electrics, I mean, that was good.
Ah, well, right. So we talk about controversial, right? Ski Electrics was all right, but the amount of time the car came flying off the track
Off the track.
and then you get pissed off and you try to fix the wee foil bits in the bottom of the car so that it made contact, and you spent more time fucking about with it to try and get it to work than you did racing.
Yeah.
I wish it's quite a cool smell though. I think I could distinctly remember the smell of Ski
I know
Electric.
what you mean. You just said that.
It's like almost like a burning smell, but obviously it must be like the contact of the electricity. But Ski Electrics always promised way more than it delivered, and Subbuteo is the other one. Subbuteo.
I've never really got the Subbuteo thing.
I mean, Warren used to play it. Warren had like a really good set. He had goals and fucking stands and everything for it, floodlights, and it was cool. Like it in terms of coolness, Subbuteo is right up there. But in terms of fun to play, nah, it was just a fucking faff.
They do full like tournaments now. Adults go and play like games.
I think there's probably a point where if you're really, really good at it and you played somebody who's really, really good at it, it would be good fun, right? If you were both right into it, I could get that. But I think for the casual player, it's just frustrating. It's the same as I'd rather play the table football game and the spinning the players. That's more fun than Subbuteo is, but it's nowhere near as cool. Subbuteo,
it looks good, doesn't it?
It looks bad. It's like totally iconic. They can folk with iron the pitches and everything that kind of to be just so and good. That's my controversial one. Subbuteo and Ski Electrics is a good shout as well, Colin. Skateboards as well.
Oh, I never ever had one. I was down in London in the summer, though, and you see like grown men on skateboards. It's fucking mad, eh? You just think, what happened, mate? Like, what happened to you? Like, that you're still kicking about with a baseball cap on backwards, going to a sort of underground dungeon thing to roll on a fucking 4 wheels up a wee hill, like a wee ramp. It's mad.
The best fun I had with a skateboard, when I lived in Whitburn, the street that we were on was Kepskeith Road or Kepskeith Crest, I can't fucking mind. And you came in, there was just a big hill. So when you come into the street, and you could, if you sat on the skateboard, just couldn't stand it. You'd unless you were good on the skateboard, if you stood up, you were fucked, like you were breaking a bone. But you could sit on the skateboard and build up a fucking right good bit of speed by the time you hit the bottom. And there wasn't as much traffic back in those days, so you weren't worried about skiing out on the road with a car coming to hit you.
That's so you could play Kirby and all that in the days as well, mind?
Didn't play Kirby these days,
Nah, my wee one went out and played it in the summer a wee bit. Like, it was like total foreign to one of our wee pals up the street. Because we were like, give me Kirby, to explain the rules there and that. And they're out playing, but it's cars and out, it's all 3-car families now and that. It's just, the works van, mum, dad's car, and then the teenager car as well. So it's mental. Like,
why? How am I meant to pronounce Techno Hibby? If anyone goes to Techno Hibby 07 on Twitter, I don't know how you pronounce what their handle is, because it's like fucking Russian letters in it. Well, Techno Hibby, I think is what it spells, but in Russian probably. Why would the Proclaimers walk 500 miles and then 500 more? I reckon they probably forgot something. They got so far and went, oh fuck, I've left my mask. That's why it would have been a mask, or they're back for life.
Yeah.
And
I was actually thinking it said that is the correct lyrics. I was thinking I wouldn't walk 500 miles, but no, it is. I would walk 500 miles. Mm-hmm.
Well, the answer in the song is to be the man that falls down at your door. And I've spoke about this before. How's that romantic?
Yeah.
Do you know
but I'm fucking knackered.
I've walked 1,000 miles. You don't have buses where you are, or a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Do you know? Why have you fucking walked it, you tight cunt?
I know.
And you stink.
Did you see it in the summer? Oh, what was it now? There was a story. It was on like Good Morning Britain. It was on one morning, and there was a guy and a girl. They met each other. No, I'm not going to get all the story correct because it's a distant memory, but they had met each other online during lockdown, and basically wanted his hole. So they tried to meet each other, and he fucking got in a wee canoe or something to cross
he
to like
did.
Isle of Man or
For
somewhere.
what did he did? It was a jet ski.
A jet ski. Was that? Was
Aye.
it Isle of Man or was it Isle of Wight or something? It was one of
Oh.
the isles off the.
Was it no like Orkney or something that he was trying to
Oh,
get
was
to?
it a Scottish island?
Aye, I'm sure it was a Scottish island. The boys tried
That's
to
right. It was a Scottish
tried
island.
to get to on a jet ski to get to Snack King.
Aye. And they got done, eh? They got done
Aye.
for breaking lockdown rules, and I think it's probably gone worth it.
Aye. And to be fair, it's not like he would have been near anybody. Carefully. It's like, what have you been out in the middle of the fucking sea on that jet ski and you gave somebody fucking COVID? Who? Like, nobody else is doing this.
Aye.
Would you go to those lengths to get your Nat King back in the day, you know, assuming you weren't a married man, etc.? Would you have considered a jet ski across fucking a large water mass?
What does she look like? I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far. Because he wasn't like he was a young dafty. He was like the boy was in his mid-20s and that.
Aye.
The memory, the story, and it's not like he's actually had time to. It's not like it's his first time he's getting his old. I would think. So, I don't know. I don't know if I would. I would need to check the circumstance at the time.
Aye. I hope he was kind of battered about the waves. He's going to Aye, good on him. Like William asked, Arbidicum or Christopher Biggins?
No, Fanny either, but I would. what am I doing here? Just having a nice chat. So I'll take Biggins.
Aye, Biggins. I think you could probably get better banter with Biggins. Kunster says, why do they call it a square sausage when it's a rectangle?
Well, one Kunster, it's no rectangle, and two, we didn't call it a square sausage.
Oh well, would you call it?
Had this conversation.
Aye,
it's a
slice sausage. Well,
excuse me, it's not rectangular either.
We're putting that to bed then.
Aye, I think what he's going on, but he's just trying to wind us up, I think.
Somebody says, who is it? Random Dribble said mine's a trapezoid. Very good. Ricky says, if you were going to get the death penalty and had a choice of which way you went out, what would you choose? I go for natural causes.
I read one in the paper just this week. Some guy in America, he's appealing the death penalty. It doesn't matter what part of America it is, but he's appealing it. And they've not done one for about 6 years or something, so they're obviously thinking, should we really be killing folk? But he's appealing it to delay it. But also he got his last meal offer, so it's like he went for some like huge, ridiculous dinner at like half a gallon of Neapolitan ice cream. Fucking, but he's obviously like, this is going to take fucking ages to eat. What that appeals.
Well, you only got that for your lunch, babe.
Once that electricity goes through me, what the fucking mess this will make. So, I don't know what way I would rather. I'd rather go. It would have to be a quick one.
Aye, something quick, and painless. Maybe like inhaling something. And just like
gas or something.
Aye, you just didn't notice what it was. And then you just go to sleep, and then that's you.
Yeah, it would have to be like that. There's still gas folk. Because electricity. What is the sort of ways? It's just electricity now, isn't it?
I think they just did the electric chair now, don't they? Well, it depends which country you're in. Because obviously some folk there's still places where you get hung and stuff like that. So
wouldn't want that one. Like electricity doesn't appeal to me either. I think gas would be the choice. Because even taking tablets, if they were to say there's a fucking barrel load of paracetamol, that's a long process as well, eh?
Aye, so quick. Okay, if you could live in any time period, what one would you pick?
I'm fine with the current time period. I think a lot of people are quite rich that lived in our parents' time. The boomer population, they live through 10 grand houses that are now worth £1 million and all that kind of stuff. So that was a good time to be around with that kind of cash. Although they did have the big interest rates and all that in the late 80s and stuff, whereas we've been low interest rates for blowing. It's a bit boring,
For ages, it is. I find it hard to see past living in now, like it, because well, we were just talking then about shit toys, right? So if you're going back in time, now I'm somebody who likes the Xbox now. I like it all to be the latest on the kind of Ultra HD TV and everything looking bro. Even when I'm watching TV shows now, so we were watching stuff on it. So we got a new TV not long ago for the bedroom, and fucking picture on it's amazing. And we were watching You, and I was sitting going, no, You. There's a program called You, so we've
so
no
you
set
weren't
up.
just watching an old episode of the Longbangers.
No, or set up cameras in your house or anything like that. Like we're not got to that stage yet. Program called You. By the way, if you watch it, if you've seen it, no.
Fair to it.
It's worth watching. The boy's basically a stalker, but he's a nice guy. It's like one of these shows where he's obviously a fucking psychopath, but you end up rooting for him because
it's like Dexter. You've seen that? That's coming back. That's back next week.
I saw that. I've never watched it, but anyway, the boy who's in it, he looks like Jose Mourinho, like a young Jose Mourinho. When you watch it, when you clock that, basically you see Jose Mourinho all the way through the fucking show. Anyway, that's we were watching it. Oh, it looks fucking brilliant. Kind of the picture was crystal clear and the colours are popping and all that kind of thing. And I think I wouldn't want to go back. Imagine going back to a time when you had like fucking 2 channels, black and white, and you got to turn it dial and fucking tune it in.
Get up to turn it over.
Turn the thing. You could have just shouted it to do it. You know, the internet. Do you know, like
what we've gone in the future then?
Well, going into the future would be alright, but how would you pick if it's not happened yet? So
you don't know it's any good, eh? You're going to the unknown. You're just assuming it's going to be better, but if they're right about climate change and all that, then there might not be anywhere to go.
It would be worth going back. You know, with the point that they're saying by this time, like fucking, there's going to be no south coast of England or whatever, because well, there will still be a south coast, but it'll be further up.
Yeah.
Go to that time to see if it's happened, or if they managed to figure out how to stop it.
Yeah.
Maybe that would do.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. My initial thought isn't going back; it would be going forward. But then it's a step into the unknown rather than.
Aye.
So I suppose. I would either stay where I am or go forward. I don't think I would go back.
Do you think if you had a house on the coast, you'd be worried about all that kind of stuff, or do you just think, oh, we fucking dead before it happens?
So, I think I will be dead before it happens. But then, thinking we've got kids, we've all got, you know what I mean? They're all getting on a bit. You want to try and protect it.
But they
protect for them, do you know? Nah, you do like your kids.
There is that. Like, I was thinking that the other day. So I think we're quite high up in Dunfermline. Like, there's the 4th, but I think if it rose by a metre or two, we'd still be well all right. Like, we're far enough away from it, but I think, like you said, it would cause massive fucking problems. And how do you sort it? Like, could you blast into the bottom of the sea, make the sea a bit deeper, just to accommodate the extra water? Or, but then I suppose you're fucking with the marine life, and then that's going to have consequences. And
yeah,
I think whether or not they started thinking about digging, could dig trenches and direct the water off the places that need it. Sure, you can't seawater, but you could surely filter that to make it drinkable. Or,
if there's droughts in that.
Aye, like you wouldn't need to have a hosepipe ban in the summer.
Yeah,
with a bit of forward planning, now you could have no flooding. And
you should definitely get on Dragon's Den with that before the Just Eat boys get ahead of you again.
Ricky, right, last question for Ricky. I think it's probably the last one for this episode as well. Says, would you keep a mogwai as a pet? And if so, how long you think before you fucked up? So do you know what that relates to, Colin? Mogwai. No. Film Gremlins.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
So the mogwai was basically the gremlin before it became a gremlin. It was a cute wee fucking creature that if you, what is it? Did he show it bright light? Don't get it wet, don't feed it after midnight. It's like the 3 golden rules. And basically the guy gets it and fucks up on day 1 and this thing goes fucking chaos happens.
Well, you're fucked here, right? Because the day, or to the last 2 days, it's just been different levels of torrential rain.
Aye.
You rarely eat before midnight. We've discussed. What was the other one?
Bright light.
Bright light. Oh, that's like Blackpool in here, like my dad would say in this use at times.
It's like Blackpool in here. That's the go-to, isn't it, for describing how if there's a lot of lights on, even if it's 2 lights, it's like fucking Blackpool illuminations in here. And you Blackpool must be shit.
Were you born on a field? That was the other one you used to get.
That controversially changed to Born on a Boat for a wee while.
Oh, I know. I was thinking that, and I didn't want to say it.
Aye, Zeebrugge. But it's a reference and nobody gets anymore, so thankfully it's back to Born on the Field.
But we've explained it, so everybody does get it now. They can go and Google it.
That's if they wanted to use it. Right, that's us for the show. We'll be back with another one some point soon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water no